Welcome to Awakening Heaven on Earth. Before we begin, take a moment to arrive. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to believe, and nowhere you need to go. Simply listen, contemplate, and notice what stirs and resonates within you. This is a shared space of reflection, presence, and remembrance. Now, let us begin. Welcome to this episode focused on Heal the Family, the First Circle of Love. Recommended reading. In this episode, we explore a collection of books and teachings that help illuminate the sacred work of healing the family. These readings draw from spirituality, psychology, family systems theory, trauma research, relationship science, and philosophy, all pointing toward one essential truth. The family is often where love is first learned, and sometimes where love is first wounded. But it can also become one of the first places where healing begins. As each book is explored, you will be invited into reflection, not only to understand these teachings, but to allow them to touch your own story with honesty, compassion, and grace. Let us begin. In the book, The Soul's Plan, by Robert Schwartz. This book explores the idea that our deepest life relationships may be part of a larger soul agreement. Through stories of loss, challenge, illness, family patterns, and spiritual growth. Schwartz invites readers to consider that our lives may be shaped not only by chance, but by a deeper purpose of awakening. Through the lens of unity, this does not mean that every wound was good. It does not excuse harm, but it offers a sacred possibility that even painful relationships can become part of the soul's evolution. Teaching forgiveness, boundaries, compassion, courage, and self-remembrance. Now take a moment to reflect. What if the most difficult family relationships in your life are not meaningless, but invitations into deeper healing, wisdom, and soul growth? In the book, It Didn't Start With You, by Mark Wolin. This powerful work explores inherited family trauma and the ways unresolved pain can pass silently from one generation to the next. Wolin shows how fears, grief, shame, loss, and unfinished stories can shape our emotional lives long before we understand where they came from. Through the lens of unity. This book reminds us that healing is not only personal, it is ancestral. When we bring awareness to inherited wounds, we interrupt cycles that may have moved through families for generations. Healing one heart can bless the whole lineage. Consider this. What pain, fear, or pattern in your life may have roots deeper than your own personal story? And how might awareness begin to set you free? In the book, The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work, by John Gottman and Nan Silver. Based on decades of relationship research, this book offers practical wisdom for strengthening intimate partnerships. Gottman's work emphasizes friendship, trust, emotional attunement, repair, shared meaning, and the daily practices that help love endure. While focused on marriage, its principles extend into the wider family. Small gestures matter. Listening matters. Repair matters. Love is not sustained by grand ideals alone, but by consistent embodied care. Now ponder this question. Where in your closest relationships is love asking for more daily attention, listening, repair, or tenderness? In the book, Family Secrets, by John Bradshaw. This book reveals how hidden family dynamics shape identity, behavior, shame, and emotional patterns. Bradshaw explores the ways families sometimes protect pain through silence, denial, secrecy, and roles that prevent truth from coming into the light. Through the lens of unity, truth is not the enemy of love. Truth is often what love requires. Healing begins when what has been hidden can be named with compassion. not to shame the family, but to free it. Now think about this. What unspoken truths, patterns, or family roles may be asking to be brought into the light with honesty and compassion? In the book All About Love by Bell Hooks, in this profound work, Bell Hooks invites us to redefine love, not as sentiment alone, but as action, care, responsibility, respect, knowledge, and trust. This is essential in family healing, because many families say the word love while struggling to practice love in ways that create safety, truth, and freedom. Hooks reminds us that love must become embodied in the way we speak, in the way we listen, in the way we honor another's becoming. Ponder this. How would your family relationships change if love were practiced not only as a feeling, but as a daily commitment to care, truth, and respect? In the book The Family Crucible by Augustus Napier and Carl Whitaker, this classic work in family therapy presents the family as an emotional system, where each person's behavior affects the whole. Rather than seeing one person as the problem, the book invites us to look at the patterns, roles, and unspoken agreements that shape the entire family field. Through the lens of unity. This is deeply important. No one heals in isolation, and no one wounds in isolation. Families are living systems, and when one person begins to change, the whole system is invited to reorganize around greater truth. So then, what role have you played in your family system? And is your soul inviting you to step into a new way of being? In the book Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents by Lindsay C. Gibson, this book offers a compassionate psychological understanding of what happens when parents are unable to provide consistent emotional presence, attunement, or maturity. Gibson helps readers name patterns of emotional neglect, role reversal, loneliness, and the longing to be truly seen through the lens of unity. This book supports healing without hatred. It allows us to understand limitations without denying their impact. It teaches that compassion and boundaries can live together, that we can love with clarity, and heal without waiting for others to become who they could not yet be. Now let's consider this question. Where are you still waiting for someone in your family to give you what they may not yet be capable of giving? And how can you begin offering healing to yourself now? In the book, The Whole Brain Child, by Daniel J. Siegel and Tina Payne Bryson. This book brings neuroscience into family life, showing how children's developing brains are shaped by connection, emotional regulation, and compassionate presence. Siegel and Bryson offer practical ways to help children integrate emotion and reason. Body and mind, reaction and reflection. Through the lens of unity. This book reminds us that love is not only spiritual, it is embodied in the nervous system. The way we respond to children becomes part of the way they learn safety, trust, and belonging. So here's an important question. How can you bring more calm, presence, and emotional understanding to the children, grandchildren, or younger souls entrusted to your care? In the book, The Drama of the Gifted Child, by Alice Miller. This influential psychological work explores how children often learn to suppress their true feelings and needs in order to receive love, approval, or safety from caregivers. Miller reveals how this early adaptation can lead to disconnection from the authentic self. Through the lens of unity. This book invites a return to the lost child within, the one who needed to be seen, the one who became acceptable instead of whole. The one who now longs to be welcomed home. So then, what parts of your authentic self did you learn to hide in order to belong? And how might you begin welcoming them back with love? In the book I and Thou by Martin Buber. This philosophical classic explores two ways of relating. I-it, where others become roles, functions, or objects in our story. And I-thou, where we meet another as a sacred presence, fully alive and worthy of reverence. Within family. This teaching is transformative. It invites us to stop seeing family members only through the old roles they played. Parent, child, sibling, the difficult one, the absent one, the strong one, and instead, to glimpse the soul beneath the role. So here is an important question. How might one family relationship shift if you met that person not as a role, but as a sacred soul on their own journey? As these readings come together, a deeper truth begins to emerge. Family is not simple. It is sacred and complex, tender and painful, formative and unfinished. It can wound, and it can heal. It can carry inherited pain, and it can become the place where inherited pain finally ends. The work of healing family does not require pretending. It does not require denying what happened. And it does not require abandoning wisdom or boundaries. It asks for presence. Honesty. Compassion. Courage. And the willingness to let love mature into something deeper than sentiment. So before you leave this moment, pause gently. Think of the family you were born into. Think of the family you have chosen. Think of the patterns you inherited. the love you received, the love you missed, and the love you are now learning to become. You do not have to heal everything today. You only have to take the next faithful step to speak with more truth, to listen with more compassion, to set boundaries with more love, to forgive when the time is right, to release what cannot yet be repaired, and to remember. The same love that heals a family can heal the world. As we come to a close, remember that this journey continues in many expressions. This podcast is part of a family of partner podcasts. Awakening Heaven on Earth. The space between heaven and earth and Living Heaven on Earth are 3 companion podcasts exploring spiritual awakening from complementary perspectives. Awakening Heaven on Earth offers the core teachings and mystical reflections on unity, love, and conscious living. The space between creates room for dialogue, reflection, and lived conversation around those teachings. Living Heaven on Earth focuses on basic spiritual practices that help embody these insights in daily life. Together, they form a unified journey of understanding, experience, and integration, inviting listeners to remember their connection with the divine, with one another, and with the living world. You can find all of them available on the same podcast streaming platforms wherever you listen. And if music helps carry these teachings deeper into the heart, the Unity, Awakening Heaven on Earth album is available on all major music streaming services as a musical companion to this journey. Wherever you engage, through listening, reflection, conversation, or music, may it gently remind you you are not separate. You belong to the one life, and heaven is already unfolding within you. Until next time, walk gently, love deeply, and embody heaven on earth.